We have raised $35 billion worth of tariffs from the China tariffs. They've borne the entire burden. And by the way, we've had the backs of our farmers by using some of those tariff revenues to basically make those farmers whole when they're being attacked.
Hold on, but sir, hold on.
We got to back off here. We got to back off here. You were going.
Okay, how far back?
Yeah, that's good.
Great.
A little more would be good because.
Okay, I'll try to roll off the set. Hold on. You just said the farmers were made whole.
Sir,
you just said the farmers were made whole. I asked the questions, you answered them. You just said the farmers were made whole. I've had a number of farmers on this program who said they are not made whole at all. Are they not telling the truth?
Sir, that's a silly question you're asking me because I haven't met those farmers. I haven't heard you talking to them. Here's what I know.
Okay.
The Secretary of Agriculture, Sonny Perdue, has a program in which he's basically made those farmers whole using payments that we've gotten from
So just because the Secretary of Agriculture says they've been made whole, we should just take the administration's word for it and not talk to the farmers?
You know, this hostility is
This isn't hostile, sir. I'm not sure what you're interested in an interview, but typically people ask questions and they get an answer.
All you keep doing is interrupt me. That's all you do here. You roll back the tape here. All you do is when I start to answer a question.
Clearly, they're not an answer. It's a filibuster. We got to run. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
After you interrupted me.
It's a lot easier.
Probably 30 times.
If you answer the questions, it's a lot easier.
This is shameful.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thanks.
This is the director of the White House's National Trade Council, Peter Navarro, offering such a misleading assessment of the trade war with China that even Fox News' Leland Vittert pushed back. And that's because Navarro is towing the White House's line, claiming, despite a slew of evidence to the contrary, that somehow a trade war with China is a good thing. The interview comes in the aftermath of Trump promising to impose a 10% tariff on the remaining $300 billion of Chinese imports, most of which are consumer items like electronics, clothing, phones, game consoles, and much, much more. In retaliation, China has promised to cut off all agricultural purchases from American farmers. And as if American consumers and farmers getting hurt wasn't bad enough, it's also caused the market, for the umpteenth time, to suffer massive losses. Now, Navarro is just repeating Trump's talking points, that the US is getting rich from all the revenue we're generating from the tariffs. But keep in mind that any revenue that America collected by imposing tariffs in the first place was paid for by American consumers. That's how it works. When you impose tariffs on Chinese imports, companies are obviously still going to import those products, but aren't going to just absorb the cost, so they raise the prices of their goods, which means we pay those higher prices. So while Trump is out on the White House lawn patting himself on the back for generating millions and millions of revenue, that revenue came from Americans. Now, Trump has already redistributed $16 billion to farmers. And in case the word redistribute sounds an awful lot like socialism, that's because it's socialism. So while Republicans are screeching ad nauseum into the void, fear-mongering about how the Democrats will turn the US into Venezuela by implementing their dangerous socialist agenda, even though they never have and have no plans to, Republicans are literally doing it right now. This is 9th grade psych class obvious projection. And it's not even subtle, it's literally right out in the open. Trump started a trade war, we're all paying more because of it, and then Trump turns around and doles out those tax dollars to farmers in red states to buy them out and protect his re-election bid. But as if that's not bad enough, even this administration's blatant pandering was done unfairly. According to the USDA, the top 1% of farmers were paid $188,000, while the bottom 80% of farmers averaged less than $5,000. Even their socialism is elitist while pretending to be populist, and it's only going to get worse. Soybean farmers had already been devastated after sales to China fell 94% at the beginning of the trade war. And now, with China turning off the faucet completely, it seems unlikely that some tepid $5,000 payment is going to compensate for killing business almost entirely. And this is all because the president promised that trade wars are easy to win, which is par for the course for Trump. Everything is easy until suddenly it's not. Healthcare would be no problem until Trump acknowledged this.
I have to tell you, it's an unbelievably complex subject. Nobody knew that healthcare could be so complicated.
And now we have American farmers and investors and consumers that are suffering because Trump's got the diplomatic touch of an atom bomb. And look, in fairness, that's not to say that China hasn't benefited from their unfair practices, but Trump's bullying approach clearly isn't working. And worse, he can see that, we all can, but he isn't capable of altering his strategy. He only knows how to be a bully. Then again, I didn't pay someone to ghostwrite The Art of the Deal during a decade in which I lost $1 billion, so what do I know? The fact is that because Trump doesn't know how to govern, because his team isn't able to negotiate, because we have a, quote, political outsider who doesn't understand diplomacy beyond tweeting big scary threats with the spelling of a fourth grader, we're left footing a higher bill for everything that comes from China. And everything comes from China. So Trump and his mouthpieces will continue to go on national television and claim that everything's fine when we're all suffering the immediate effects of this ill-fought trade war. Because even Fox News is learning that we should never
take the administration's word for it.